Swiggy is getting into drone deliveries, but not in the way that you might be thinking. Welcome to Backstage with Millionaires. I'm Caleb, your host, and specifically these drones are going to be used for middle mile delivery, not last mile delivery for customers. In other words, this means that products are going to be delivered from different warehouses across the country to local Swiggy facilities and dark stores via drone. And Swiggy's CTO has said that they're looking to partner with different software companies and startups who would offer drones as a service. All of the regulations and guidelines have been met, and permissions have now been approved by the government, so now you might be wondering, why is Swiggy interested in using drones in its supply chain? Well, here's why. As of now, Swiggy is using trucks to transport their inventory from warehouses to Swiggy facilities. But this costs money and also time. They have to pay for drivers, they have to pay for trucks, they have to pay for whatever fuel those trucks are using. And of course, those trucks need to travel from point A to point B using Indian roads, which aren't always perfect, and there's usually a bit of traffic which costs time. However, with drones, you can skip a lot of these problems because a single drone can fly straight through the air from point A to point B, and all that's required is a single drone pilot. Now, some of you might remember that Swiggy's actually tested drone deliveries in the past. In April of 2022, they actually conducted multiple pilots to operate drone deliveries for their customers. These were last mile deliveries of food, and they'd even partnered with Garuda Aerospace to make these happen, but it looks like they ended up pulling the plug on these pilots because according to Swiggy's CTO, customer-directed drone deliveries could involve hazards of misuse, fraud, and safety constraints, while the middle mile opportunity is insulated from such challenges. Besides Swiggy, Dunzo has also experimented with drone deliveries, partnering with the Telangana government last year to pilot vaccine delivery in faraway areas in the state. And then also Zip Electric has begun drone deliveries of packages in 5 cities. These are Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Pune, and Delhi NCR. All right, next up in the news, Flipkart is reportedly getting into the Metaverse with the launch of Flipverse. So the idea here is that this is going to be a virtual reality 3D metaverse shopping experience where customers are going to be able to walk through a virtual shopping center and interact with digital storefronts. And if this actually comes to fruition, then Flipverse will likely also be hosting games, NFTs, product launches, and other contests. Now, we do need to take this news with a grain of salt because Flipkart is yet to confirm Flipverse, and a couple of reporters have reached out for comment, and Flipkart has not yet commented on this. They haven't released any kind of statement. So it could just be a massive rumor, but one of the things that makes this rumor seem a little bit more credible is the fact that Amazon recently launched Amazon Metaverse, and so Flipkart might be trying to do something similar. Flipkart is reportedly going to be launching Flipverse sometime around Diwali, and they've also reportedly partnered with Layer 2 Ethereum protocol Polygon as well as Meta. Also, earlier this week, one of Polygon's co-founders actually tweeted Flipverse by Flipkart, saying that it was powered by Polygon and eDAO. All right, next up, let's move into our bird's eye segment now because at least 6 Indian startups have raised more than $1 million this week, with the total coming in at $99 million. So the leader here this week was one startup in the data observability space, Bengaluru registered Palo Alto-based Unravel Data, and they raised 50% of all the funds, that's $50 million this week. So Unravel has developed a data ops observability platform designed for data-driven organizations, and basically it enables data teams to optimize, automatically troubleshoot, and proactively control the cost of data pipelines and applications. Up next, we have one startup in the fintech space, New York and Bengaluru-based Signzy, and they've raised 26% of all the funds, $26 million. Basically, they're a digital banking infrastructure provider that develops blockchain and AI-based solutions to digitally identify, verify, and authenticate customers. After fintech, we have pharmaceutical startups raising 23% of all the funds, and the leaders here are Delhi-registered Cambridge, Massachusetts-based Elucidata. They've raised $16 million. Basically, this is a biomedical database startup that builds algorithms and software for biotech companies. Then we have Bengaluru-based Savio. They've raised $4.5 million. This is a B2B marketplace for pharmacies, and they bring the primary and secondary medicine market together and offer faster delivery, cheaper procurement, and better technology to pharmacies. And then we also have Thane-based Butterfly Learnings. They've raised $1.5 million, and they offer pharmaceutical services across the country and deliver improved clinical outcomes for children and families. And then finally, you have one startup in the AI space. This is Bengaluru-based Unscript.ai. They raised 1% of all the funds this week. That's $1 million. And basically what they're building is an AI-based platform meant for creating synthetic videos in real time. Now, look, this number, $99 million, is actually quite low when you compare it to last week's total fundraise of $186 million. But do keep in mind that by the time you're watching this video, this number might have actually gone up. So if you want more up-to-date information on the funds that Indian startups are raising, then make sure to sign up for our newsletter. You can find a link to it in the description down below. All right, next up, there's this question that I get asked pretty frequently, and that's, Caleb, you're a foreigner. How do you know so much about Indian startups? And the answer to that question is actually pretty interesting because I think most people would just go to Google, they would go to media websites, and sometimes we do that, but personally, I don't like to read. This is something really weird about me. People ask me, what kind of books do you like to read about business? I don't. I like to listen to people who actually know what they're talking about, either in an in-person conversation or in video form. And so because of this, one of the YouTube channels that's often recommended to me on my home screen is Jungle Ventures, and they're also the sponsor of today's video. So because of this whole ONDC thing, I've actually been researching quite a bit about e-commerce and D2C. And I came across this video where Manpreet Ratia, one of the managing partners at Jungle Ventures, talks about some tips for e-commerce founders. And here's my favorite clip from that video.
I think the challenge out there is what I would call the trade-off between intimacy and scale. A simple factor like, for example, convenience. All of us would love to place an order and get it fulfilled in an hour. But the reality is, doing a 1-hour delivery is far more expensive than 7-day delivery. A commitment of very quick delivery gets more people excited and more people ordering. So how do you find the right balance? What should you be showing a 1-day delivery? Should you be showing a 2-hour delivery? Should you be doing a 3-hour delivery?
So I'll be putting a link to that video in the description down below. You should definitely go and check it out. And while you're over there, make sure to hit subscribe to Jungle Ventures YouTube channel because they're posting videos like that all the time and they're super valuable and full of information. All right, next up, just one quick update for you guys this week. It looks like Rivigo is officially gonna be acquired. So this happened on Monday, the 26th of September. Mahindra Logistics announced that they were going to be acquiring Rivigo, and the deal amount here has not yet been disclosed, and it's not even clear if the papers have been signed, if this deal is finalized, but at least Mahindra has shown that they're definitely planning to acquire Rivigo, and the reason here is that Mahindra Logistics is looking to empower its supply chain and utilize Rivigo's offerings to diversify their services. All right, that is all the startup news that I have for you guys this week. I really hope that you enjoyed the video and that you learned a lot from it. Big thanks now to all of our Backstage with Millionaires members, our unicorns, our decacorns, and our hectacorns. And of course, also big thanks to Jungle Ventures for continuing to sponsor our videos. All right, I will see you in the next one.